For the barbell shoulder press, we just want to set up the barbell roughly shoulder height. This is probably a tiny little bit too high for me. Well, it's definitely a little bit too high for me, but that's totally okay. And of course, you're going to load up the weights with whatever you want. The way we recommend to warm up is that you warm up with what's called a 4-3-2-1 warm up. So you want to have a rough idea of what you're going to lift. So let's say I was going to lift 60 kilos today, or in pound, I guess about 130 pounds, whatever it would be. What I'd do is I'd go 50% of that and do 4 reps. Then I'd do about 70% for 3 reps, then about 90% for 2 reps, and then 100%, so what I'm going to lift for 1 rep. So what that would look like is if I was going to do 60 kilos, I'd do 30 kilos for 4 reps, 40 kilos for 3 reps, 50 kilos for 2 reps, and 60 kilos for 1 rep. You don't have to get out a calculator to work out those percentages, as long as you're just gradually going up. So for technique, I will set this up so it's at the right height for me, so you guys can see the proper way to do it. Now, of course, look, we're going back to a gym here. In Australia, all the gyms are reopening, so this is a workout that you can do back at a gym. If you don't have access to a gym, you can just swap this out for like a pike handstand push-up movement. We've got a couple of cool video tutorials for those, but let's hope you've got access to a gym for this one. So I'm gonna set up with my hands about shoulder width apart. I'm gonna come into the bar and stand up, and then from here, I'm just gonna step back a few steps. I'm going to pull my heels together so that it activates my glutes and my abs and pulls my pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt. And then from here, I'm just going to push up as vertically as I can and then push my head forward at the top so that I lock my shoulders out in flexion. And then I'm going to move my head back and come back down. So the idea is that I want to try to create a vertical bar path. Okay, so I want to try and make the bar move vertically, and I want to keep my shoulder blades down at all times. Keeping the shoulder blades down is actually going to create a stronger platform. Of course, when you do calisthenics movements, often you elevate the shoulders when you push above your head. We don't want to do that with the shoulder press. We want to keep the shoulders down, okay? And what that's going to do is create really strong, solid platform. So your shoulder blades, your scapula, when you do upper body strength pushing movements, they act like your feet when you're squatting. So if the shoulder blades are moving around, it's like trying to squat with your feet moving around. You want those shoulder blades locked down when you're doing your pressing, like your bench pressing or your shoulder pressing, okay? So that's the first movement for the circuit. So the second exercise, we've just done our shoulder press. Now we're moving on to the loaded hamstring stretch. And for this one, we're going to want a couple of dumbbells. I've got 10 kilo dumbbells, or I think that's 22 pounds. So, but you know, it depends on how strong you are. I can do a lot more weight than this. But for some people, you might need to do less weight than this. So what I'm going to do, grab these weights, chest forward, bum back, and then I'm going to go down as low as I can go until I feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then I'm just gonna hold this for 30 seconds. And the things you're looking for here, look at my back. I'm not rounding my back. We do round the back for other hamstring and posterior chain stretches, but for this one, I want you to have an extended spine so that it's really getting into the hamstrings there, okay? And of course, lock the knees out. There's not much more to it than that. We're just gonna hold that for 30 seconds. So the third exercise, which is the second strength training movement, is the pull-up. And I'm going to demonstrate just a regular a chin-up, I guess, a supinated grip chin-up. Most people call pull-ups with a pronated grip, so I'll call this one a chin-up. And what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate a proper chin-up, and then I'm going to demonstrate a regression for those of you that can't yet do chin-ups. This want to do with a full chin-up is a lot of people mess chin-ups up by not going full range of motion. You know, they train this really short range. What I want you to be doing is to go from full lockout, so arms right up above the head, and then initiate the movement by depressing the scapula. So by pulling the shoulder blades down like that, and then we're going to pull as hard as we can and try and get the chest to the bar. If you can get your chest to the bar, that's obviously really good. But as long as you can get the bar to about mid-neck height, the reps will count. If you can't get the bar to mid neck height for the reps, then you're going to need to regress, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can regress. So first, we'll look at the normal chin up. I'm going to grab onto the bar, roughly about shoulder height. There's so many different ways you can do chin ups, but for this exercise, we're just going to keep it simple. So from here, just watch how I initiate with my shoulders. Okay, and you can see I pull really hard and get my chest to the bar, and then back down. What I really want to watch out for is that I'm not doing this. So my shoulders are coming forward or doing reps like this. Okay, those are really bad chin-ups. If that's the case, if you can't do those, then you want to regress. The best ways to regress, the preferred option would be eccentric pull-ups, okay? Eccentric chin-ups. So from here, what I'm going to do is get my chest to the bar, and what I'm doing here is I've got this bar set up. I really love using barbells for these because you can get this to the height that you want. You know, a lot of people show eccentrics where you jump up to the bar or you have to step up. I don't like doing that, and the reason why is because there's 3 variables for how to get stronger with eccentric reps. Number 1 is the amount of time that you go down for on your eccentric repetition. That's the first variable. Number 2 is how many reps you do. And number 3 is the rest between reps. So what you want to aim for is getting up to 5 reps of eccentrics. That's your first goal. Then you want to aim for getting up to about 8 to 10 seconds on each eccentric contraction. And then the last variable is try to reduce the rest time to 0 seconds. Now that's really hard to do if you've got to stand up on something or jump up every time. But if you watch how I do it here, and just for the sake of the video, I'm only going to do a 3-second eccentric so it doesn't take forever. So from here, I'm going to get my chest to the bar, and then I lift my legs 1, 2, 3, then straight back up. 1, 2, 3. That's the best way that I've found to do eccentric reps. It works really, really well, and we get people doing their first pull-ups pretty quickly. So watch this video again to understand what those 3 variables are. The first thing you want to do, try to get 3 to 5 reps. You want to get up to 5 reps is the real goal. Then you want to increase the amount of eccentric contraction, the load time. So eccentric means when the muscles are lengthening during the contraction, so it's when you're going down. You want to get up to 8 to 10 seconds per eccentric contraction. The last variable is 0-second rest between reps. If you can do 3 reps, 0-second break for 10 seconds on the way down, you should be able to do 1 pull-up. When that happens, you start doing hybrid sets where you do, say, 1 or 2 full pull-ups, and then you go straight to eccentric reps to make up the volume, okay? And then if that's still too hard for you, you're going to do jumping pull-ups or feet-assisted pull-ups. So jumping pull-up, all you do, you stand from here, jump a little bit with your leg, and then back down. Jump a bit with your leg, okay? Still really focusing on that beautiful scapular depression and retraction. If that's still too hard, feet on the ground, a little bit in front of you, and use your feet as much as you need to, but as little as possible, okay? And that's the way that anyone can really do something for a pull-up. The last exercise for this circuit is the active front split. So what I'm going to do is just have something that I can hold on to for balance. And what I want to do is just go as low as I can go. So it's going to be totally dependent on how flexible you are but whilst keeping your muscles activated. So what I want to do is, I want my hips facing forward. Now I can do the full front splits on the ground, which I'll show in a sec, but you know, your hips twist when you do the full front splits like that, at least mine do. I'm not a ridiculous rubber person. But what I want to do here is keep my hips facing forward, front leg straight, back leg straight, and I want to try and hold myself so I'll go as low as I can go. This is a lot more comfortable with shoes on rather than bare feet, okay? Straighten the back leg, straighten the front leg, and we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. So I'm balancing, okay? I don't want to be like leaning on this object that's holding me up. I want to be trying to take my own weight like this. Now, I'm not talking about trying to get straight down into the splits. That's not what we're doing here, okay? We want to do loaded flexibility in this routine. So there's passive stretching, which I love to do. We do it at the end of a workout though, but in this workout we're doing loaded stretching. We want to really load the muscles up and develop some strength through their range of motion. So for this one, you're going to hold for 30 seconds on each side. That's it everyone, very simple. Now the best way to get a lot out of this workout is to try and do 5 sets, so a minimum of 5 sets, so you'll do 1 warm-up round. The way we do it in our UMS program, our Unified Movement System, is that we actually put a 5-minute timer on so that you really get efficient, and every 5 minutes the buzzer beeps, and that's when you start the next round. And you just go in, you do your shoulder press, then you do your loaded hamstring stretch, then you do your pull-ups, and then you do your front splits on each side, and you can get that done in 5 minutes. You absolutely can. So what's happening is you're resting the upper body but whilst you're stretching the lower body or developing flexibility in the lower body. And then you train the opposing muscle group, the antagonist in the upper body. So that by the time you go back to doing your shoulder press again, that muscle group has actually had about a 4-minute rest period. It's more than enough time to rest and produce some good strength again. Now, how many reps should you do? Well, that depends on your goal. If you're training for muscle hypertrophy, which we call accumulation training, accumulating fatigue, you want to be doing between the 8 and 15 rep range, and that's a big wide variety. Why so wide? Because it depends on how long you've been training for. For beginners usually respond better to higher rep ranges, so the 12 to 15 reps. The exception would be the pull-ups. You're still going to aim for those eccentric reps of about 5, or you can do feet-assisted pull-ups of 12 to 15. Then for somebody more advanced, so like myself, I'd be doing sets of 8 reps. The more advanced you get, the more conditioned your body is to strength training, the better the muscles respond to lower rep ranges, okay? So 8 reps, 5 sets, that would give me 40 reps in total, which is enough for muscle hypertrophy. Then the other main goal that people have is for strength, to develop strength. And that's more about training the nervous system than the muscles. Of course, it trains the muscles as well. And for that, we want to do less than 5 reps. So a really good place to start with that is do 5 sets of 5. That's going to give you 25 reps. 25 reps is the minimum amount required for strength development. So play around with it. Let me know how you go. And of course, answer the question of the day. I really want to know, why do you guys want to get strong and flexible? And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when our weekly videos are uploaded. Now, the best thing for you to do if you want to stay connected with us and get free online coaching is to join our private Facebook group. It's called the UMS Movement Mastermind, and we go live daily where we answer our members' questions. It's very interactive because you can post questions while we're live and we interact with you on the show. You can also upload videos or pictures of yourself with any movements, any stretches, strength training movements, calisthenics, weightlifting, anything that you're struggling with, and we'll critique you, give you feedback, let you know how you can get better. It's a really valuable resource. It allows a lot of communication with us and also our senior tribe members. You'll get answers very, very quickly, and it's absolutely free. So jump on Facebook, search for UMS Movement Mastermind and join now. Until next time, have a great day.